So we always hear cases of cops being assholes. Like we always hear, you know, the trigger happy cops and the, you know, cops that give you a ticket for going like 20, you know, 30 and a 25 and that kind of stuff. But what happens when a cop is nice and something bad happens because of it? Like, I mean, I've definitely gotten away with certain things. I've gotten caught with pot at least, I want to say two times? Yeah, 2 times. So I was like, I gotta be careful because of the third time I will get, no, 3 times actually. 3 times because like I figured I can only get away with it 3 times. The next time I will get arrested. I've also got caught driving with a suspended license a lot of times. Luckily that's not a concern anymore. And a lot of times, I mean with like the pot thing, like the first cop, I can guarantee you the cop knew what was going on, but being where I was at, pot was like the least of his worries, you know. The other times I'm not really sure if they knew anything about it. As for the suspended license, it usually was older male cops, and I cried. And I knew what I was doing. Like, I knew I could use the fact that I looked like a fat, dumpy, like, little fat girl, and I could cry and be like, I'm so stressed out, I'm sorry, and get away with it. But there's a case of a girl named Toni Anderson. And Toni Anderson was a 20-year-old girl that, basically, she went missing, and the last day anybody heard of her was at, like, 4:55 a.m., she got to work at 4 a.m. and she got to work and she texted her friend around like 4 something and said, oh my gosh, I got pulled over again. And that's the last time anybody heard of her. And the cops said they had no record of pulling her over. So of course people were like, oh my God, it had to be a fake cop, you know, something had to happen. Or the cops pulled her over and they had to hurt her because of course it had to be like, you know, the worst case scenario. One of the worst case scenarios, it had to be the cops that did something to her. So after like, you know, people like, you know, protesting and fighting, somebody finally steps up and says, okay, I'm the one that, you know, pulled her over. Now they pulled this girl over. I don't want to say they pulled her over. Basically, she was in the wrong lane. She was facing oncoming traffic at like 4:30 in the morning on a rainy day for 12 minutes. For 12 minutes. Now, in her mind, she was going to make a left turn, and that's where she was supposed to be, but for 12 minutes. So she gets, you know, a cop goes behind her, I guess, and, you know, talks to her, and in my opinion, like, the minute they release the dash cam footage, she is obviously fucked up. She can't talk properly. She's really slurring her words. She's, like, giggling at inappropriate times. She can't really answer her questions. Like the cop tells her like, you're facing oncoming traffic, and she just like giggles and he's like, it's not funny. And he's like, where are you going? And you know, where you come from? And she's like, I work at Chrome. I'm going to the Shady. I'm going to the Shady. So I'm here because I'm gonna turn. And he's like, you're facing oncoming traffic. You're not in a turning lane. And she's like, but I'm going to turn. Like, obviously, I mean, I'm not a fucking cop. And I'm like, that bitch be fucked up, you know? And, I mean, maybe it was because she was like a pretty girl. Maybe it was because he just felt like giving someone a break. Whatever. But he said that he could not tell that she was fucked up. So he told her, but he did tell her to go across the street to the gas station and collect herself before she drove again. Now, if you don't think somebody's fucked up, you obviously wouldn't have to tell them to collect themselves before they drive again. He actually, when they release all of the dash cam footage, you literally see him, you know, see the interaction. I like clocked for a second, like she's fucked up, like the minute, like she's fucked up, the end. He actually, you know, watches her go to the gas station, watches her go into the gas station. Like apparently she used her ATM card twice, it was declined, and then she walks out and gets in her car and drives away. So she was not, like, she couldn't collect herself. She was there for like 2 minutes. And then he just turns around and goes about his business. And basically she went missing after that. So of course I understand why the cop didn't want to say like he had any contact with her, because it's going to make him look like, you know, super guilty. But to an extent he is guilty. Now what ended up happening, unfortunately, is because she was drunk and she had cocaine and meth in her system, she got confused. Like she somehow, like 10 miles down the road, got confused and thought she was on like a dead-end street, because in the dark it looks like a dead-end street, but it was actually a boat dock. And she tried to turn around and, like, I guess they assumed slipped on ice, and she ended up in the fucking river, and she drowned, which is horrendous. Like they said that her body went in shock because it was like 20-degree water, and I'm sort of hoping that's what happened. I hope her body went in shock and she like passed out, but the window was down, so I'm thinking that did not happen fast, at least, because what a horrible fucking death. But basically, if he did his job, if he did what he was supposed to do, she'd be alive, you know? Like, I know I'd rather anybody, you know, have a fucking DUI than die. I'm sure her family feels that way. I'm sure she would have felt that way. And I think it's really a big difference between not giving someone a ticket, you know, for like going a little bit over the speed limit, or not, you know, for having a suspended license or what have you, or even pot. you know, because I wasn't driving most of the time. I was driving once out of the, well, no, I was actually driving twice out of the 3 times. But even pot versus like, and even if I got caught for pot, that was my fault, you know? Then, you know, not giving someone a ticket when they were obviously fucked up. I mean, if I can tell who's just a random fucking stranger that she's obviously not sober and there's a reason he told her to go, you know, collect herself at the gas station across the street, you know, obviously she was fucked up. So, like, what was the reason behind this? Was it because she was, like, a very attractive, pretty girl and he just didn't want to, like, you know, ruin her future? Or was it because she just didn't feel like doing the paperwork or just, you know, felt like being, like, the nice cop? Well, the nice cop got her dead. And it's hard to, like, think what should happen to him. Like, a part of me is, like, he needs to, like, lose his job. Like, he needs to fucking, like, you know, end. Like, he needs to fucking, you know, be held accountable for him. But when it comes down to it, she's the one that drove fucked up. You know, regardless that she was only 20 years old, she was working at like a gentleman's club or whatever, like an adult club. It doesn't really matter. But obviously she was allowed to drink there and apparently do other things. But at least allowed to drink there, which happens actually at a lot of clubs. And she's not, you know, of age. But regardless, like, she chose to drink and drive. She chose to drink and drive. So of course what it comes down to it is ultimately her responsibility. But she had a way of being saved. If that cop decided to do his job, she would still be here. Yes, she would have a DUI and that would affect her life, but it should affect your life. Because usually when you drive fucked up, you don't kill yourself, usually. Usually you kill someone else. Like 9 out of 10 times you kill someone else. And that's fucked up. And what would have happened if that happened? What if it happened if she fucking ran to somebody and killed some fucking, you know, some 90-year-old grandma or like somebody's kid or something? Like, it's just, it's something you don't fuck with. And it's like a very thin line, like a very like tightrope kind of line that you're walking when you're deciding who gets what. And I definitely